There, now we rolling. We rolling,
Okay.
folks. All right. Good
And
evening,
it's
everybody. It's Arknolia and the Doctor. This is episode, what is it,
30,
133? 33?
33. Yeah.
Yes, of our music memory series. And our discussion on the 1960s rock scene with all the bands and all the artists out there is still continuing, by the way, folks.
It's a lot of them.
A lot of them.
Wait
And
till we get to the 70s. There's way more.
I know. So it's going to be possibly be a part. Let's see, a part 12, I guess. So in that case, there, I guess, coming up.
I don't know how long that's going to go, but it's going to go a while.
All
We
right.
might get into the 80s. No,
Oh,
we won't get that far.
okay. Well, so it ended at the 70s, I guess. You said, right?
Yeah, in the 60s we'll cover tonight will be the remainder of the
The
regular bands
Yeah,
that I have,
on your
starting with
list there.
keys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And this is in alphabetical order, folks. We've been doing this for the past couple episodes there. So and there's a lot of these groups up here that do need acknowledgement. That's one of the reasons why we're doing this program, to let everybody know about this group, this band, this artist out there. Because there's so many out there that never really got any recognition there.
Yeah, and sometimes it's deserved no recognition, and sometimes it should have been recognized.
Yeah, you know, they were recognized, but not as much in another case.
Right.
All right, there. All right, so shall we begin, folks, there, and start on with the continue with our list there?
Okay. First group I got is a group called the T-Bones.
The T Bones.
They actually did an instrumental that was called "No Matter What Shape Your Stomach's In,"
I remember
and
that.
and the interesting thing of that song is it became a Alka-Seltzer commercial.
Yeah, because my mom had that single there.
Yeah, but was a big and pretty much only hit by that group.
Wow, wow. Because remember, I mentioned it many times that my mom had these massive collection of 45s, including the Supremes, Gene Vincent, many others, and that particular song, that single was included in one of them.
Yep.
I know, wow.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because, like I said, it was a commercial.
Yeah. For
They played it
Alka-Seltzer.
for Alka-Seltzer.
Yeah,
Yes.
and the fitting title of it as well. And I guess that came years after the song came out, I guess.
No, about the same time.
Oh, wow. And this was in the 60s era. I didn't know Alka-Seltzer was in the 1960s, but then again, a lot of shit came around in that decade that
Oh
we
yeah,
should
they
know
were
about.
around.
Oh, wow.
In fact, I think they were around in the 50s.
Because remember, my childhood was around the 1970s. I was about 8 or 9 years old, watching old Bugs Bunny cartoons and that. And this
Which
is
those
around the
came out in the
70s.
30s and 40s.
Yeah, I know, and exactly there. But of course, oh yeah, we can't include the Flints. Can't forget the Flintstones as well. I'm surprised nobody started canceling culturing them there, being that Fred was like considered a very manipulative individual that today's people would now consider him to be.
Well, one of these days they're going to get it to the point there's nothing worth watching.
Exactly.
But okay, then we won't watch it.
Okay.
If that's what they want, and nobody will watch anything.
But the thing is, these assholes out there, they want to make everything so correct for everybody else, and like they're trying to, and most likely the people who are bitching about Pepe Le Pew or being a sexual harasser are the ones who probably got that as a child or as a kid or as an adult. They figure, oh, this cartoon's advocating it. No bullshit. I've watched many Pepe Le Pew cartoons and never have I done that shit, okay? Because I knew it was not right, all right?
It doesn't advocate anything.
No, it was just a cartoon, this fictional story, and all these queef balls out there who just everything's gotta be so perfect the way I want it to be. No, fuck you. As far as I'm concerned, people, it should be the way we want it to be. How about that?
Yeah, And there's going to be things that that people aren't going to like. Hey, there's things I don't like, but I sure don't campaign against them.
Exactly. Like I said, these are the people who have had something happen to them as in their childhood. There was something happened to them as either as a teenager or an adult, and they haven't got quite over it. You know, like all the people bitching about the one about the zero tolerance policies in high schools, and that were the ones who got bullied in high school, and they still haven't gotten over it yet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh well.
Okay, so back to our discussion there. I don't want to get straight off from our topic, as soon as we started there.
Okay, next one I got on my list is a guy by the name of Terry Stafford, another one-hit wonder.
Yeah.
He did a song called Suspicion, which actually was an old Presley song.
Mm. Elvis
He had a
Presley. Wow.
big hit, but in the '65
Mm.
era, somewhere in there.
Oh, wow. And this was an Elvis Presley tune originally?
Yeah, it was Suspicion, not Suspicious Minds.
Yeah, I was going to say it was like a sequel or a continuation or a prequel to
No,
that Suspicious Minds.
no, it's just different with a similar
All
title.
right, because I never heard of that Suspicion before there. So it
Well, if you
probably.
ever do look up the Terry Stafford version.
All
It's
right.
actually quite good.
All right.
Okay, next guy, I think he's British,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't remember mentioning Thunderclap Newman.
That's a new. Sounds like a name for a pro wrestler when you look at it there.
Yeah, what was the name of that song?
I don't know. It's Thunderclap.
Oh
Let me
God.
let me see if I can look them up for you.
Yeah, he had a big hit and it was a one-hit wonder. You would think that
Thunderclap.
I'd know what it was
All right.
because Tom Petty covered the song.
Let's see here. Thunderclap Newman was a British rock band that Pete Townsend of the Who and Kit Lambert, their manager, formed in 1969 to in a bid to showcase the talents of John Speedy Keen, Jimmy McCullough, who would later go on to join Paul McCartney's Wings, and Andy Thunderclap Newman.
And did they mention the name of the song?
Let's see here. One called "Something in the Air" from
That's it.
yeah, something from '69.
Yeah, and like I said, Tom Petty covered it later.
Ah, I see there.
It's a great song, though.
All
I
right,
wish I could have remembered the title.
all right.
I knew the song, I couldn't remember the title.
They had album out called Hollywood Dream, three other singles which appeared on the album: Wild Country, The Reason, and Accidents. And from '69 to '71, the nucleus of the group remained the three guys that I mentioned. Pete Townsend was involved in it. He played bass guitar under an alias name on their albums and singles, which of all he
Right.
recorded and produced it at his home studio and the IBC studio. The band augmented its personal lineups during its tours with a couple other people backing up, including a guy named Ronnie Peel on bass guitar and Roger Fleece on drums.
You there?
Yeah, I'm here. Yes. Um, the
Oh,
ba-
you
oh,
went away for a second.
the band broke up in 1971, but was resurrected by Andy Newman with a new group in 2010.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, listen to Something in the Air. It's a great song.
All right, definitely. I will definitely after this broadcast, definitely for sure, man.
Okay, next one I have is a group called the Tokens. Their famous song, The
Yeah.
Lion Sleeps Tonight.
Oh yeah, we know this, which I guess was popular. Definitely was used a lot, and I guess there was a. I forgot who covered it. I remember seeing
Robert
over.
John, I believe.
Okay, the
I think that
Lion.
was the guy's name. I think that was his name that had another big hit later on.
Okay. Let's see here. A couple other covers there. I remember there was a version on MTV that was covered there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was Robert John. I think that was his name.
Let me see here. Let me look up covers here. Bum 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 bum. There's a cappella cover. There was the Tokens. Um, REM did their version. Let's see here. That's here because I remember I forgot the version that was on MTV back in around. This was
If the
around
guy's
81.
name was Robert John, that's the one.
Okay, let's see. We here. Former. Let's see. The Kingston Trio: Pete Seeger, Kitty White, Bobby Stevens, the Springfields, Johnny Mansingers, the Spinners, Arlo Guntry and Pete Seeger, Red Grammer. Let's see here. Let's see.
A
Let's
lot of
see.
them.
Yeah, a lot. And Lady Smith Black Mambazo featuring Taj Mahal. The Kronos Quartet, and that was back last year when they covered their version there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hugh Mascara, Glenn Campbell, Chris Barker, uh, Chet Atkins with the Boston Pops Orchestra with Arthur Fiedler conducting, the Andrew 2
Wow.
Orchestra. Man, a lot of stuff there. Blue Champagne did it, United Guitar Players. Wow, interesting. A whole bunch of them. Bobby Stevens, Jimmy Rogers, who won, I think, with Roger Whittaker, Robert John, yep, in 1971. The
Okay,
sound,
it was earlier than I thought it was.
yeah, was a group called Fingernails, Brian Eno, the
Hmm.
Stylistics, and Mary Shiner, the Elegance, Cindy, Tight Fit, Top of the Pops, Sound Sensation, the Nylons, Montezuma's Revenge in 1989.
Uh,
I love that name there, right there. REM did
man.
it in 93. Steve Forbit, and a whole bunch of others there,
Yeah.
believe it or not.
Popular song, apparently.
Well, I guess so there. And I no doubt that song must have been heavy rotation when The Lion King first came out in around, what was it, 94, I guess it was? The animated version?
Yeah, the two versions they probably played were the Tokens and Robert John.
Most likely, yeah.
Because Robert John is eerily similar to the Tokens.
Yeah, he had that high pitched voice to there. Do you remember the song, towards the end of that song, Sad Eyes from '79?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was it was a good song, I will say, but that high pitch was like, wow, dude,
Yeah.
how is the one dude able to have that high of a pitch?
Yep. Yeah, I don't know. It's
But then again, this was when it was about, I guess it was 13 or at that time, and keep in mind, this is before I discovered Rob Halford and Ian
right.
Gillan.
Right.
Yeah, so it makes a lot of sense here.
Yeah. Next one I got's a duo.
Mhm.
Tommy Boyce and Bobby Hart.
Mm.
And they actually wrote a couple of the Monkees' early hits,
Uh-huh.
and they had a few of their own. One of them was "I Wonder What She's Doing Tonight," and then they did one called "Alice Long," which was
Hmm.
"You're Still My Favorite Girlfriend, Alice Long." Alice Long.
I see.
And then they did one called "Goodbye Baby," and had three relatively major hits.
All right.
Next one I got is Tommy Rowe.
Mm.
He was another bubblegum guy. His big one was Dizzy.
Oh.
Then I got a guy that was an interesting guy. He was kind of I guess a Cajun type guy.
All
Tony
right.
Joe White. He
I
did a
think
song called Poke Salad Annie.
I remember hearing that name long years back there.
Yeah. Poke Salad Annie's is actually a pretty good song. It's interesting.
All right.
It's a variant. It's not like everything else. But it's a good song to listen to. Next one I got is a group called the Trade Winds, and they had a song called Mind Excursion. That was a pretty decent song too.
All right.
After that was the Tremolos.
Mm-hmm.
They did a version of Silence is Golden, which was big for them.
All right.
Then you got Trini Lopez.
I heard that name many times. I've heard of that. He released a lot of records on the Reprise record label, the label that Frank Sinatra reportedly started there in the '60s.
Yeah, I think his biggest one was Lemon Tree.
I think I remember about that as well. And
Yeah,
he was a singer and a guitar player as well.
yes, he was.
I remember. It's all coming back to me, man. It is. I guess he was one of those very established artists, I guess you could say there.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And then we move into the U's. First one I got on my list is a group called the Uniques,
Yep.
which, if I'm not mistaken, that was Terry Pack's group.
Yeah, Terry Pack, which is and Terry Pack, as you know, was he was the manager for the Grand Funk Railroad.
Yeah, I think, wasn't he the one that kind of fleeced him?
Yes, yes,
Or
he
was
was.
he?
I guess. Well, what it was between that and Grand Funk, he was involved in a group called Terry Pack and something there. I forgot its name. Maybe it'd have been
Well, I
the
think it
same.
was the Uniques, but I could be wrong.
Hmm. Let me look it up there. Terry Pack and the.
Just look up Terry Pack. They should mention it.
Okay, there. Okay. Okay, let's see what we got here now. So far it's Terry Pack and what am I doing there here? Cedar, musician, son of a name goat. They got so many different versions of Terry Beck, musician. That's what's coming up
Beck.
here. Yeah, that's what's coming up right now.
It hadn't no Beck involved in that one.
Huh. I don't know why it's doing that. Let me try again here. Jazz albums. Terry Pack, who is the let's see here. Blah 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 blah. Terry Pack, who was a musical artist. He was a bass player. Johnny, and there's another Terry Pack on Facebook. His name, he plays with American singer Johnny Mars's band, who was Johnny Mars. You remember was the former guitarist of the Smiths. There, the post-modern band from Manchester, England. I think.
Yeah.
Hmm. Let's see, bass from 58 to 1976, Cambridge, UK. Grew up in London and Sussex. Let's see here. Wow, so many of them. And gosh, this is confusing because there's so many other Terry Packs out there. It's hard for Google to find which is which. Wait a minute.
Well, I was.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I just saw something here. I have to correct myself there. Instead of Terry Pack managing the Grand Funk Railroad, is Terry Knight and the Pack.
Terry Knight.
Yes.
Terry Knight in the Pack. Okay, that's where
Yeah.
I got the Terry Pack bit.
Yeah, that's why I was thinking the same thing as well. Because I remember the manager had a Terry in his name, and yes, for the record, this guy did really screw Grand Funk over there. But then again,
Yeah.
a lot of managers at that time did that as well. They did it with Springsteen, they did it with Black Sabbath, they did a lot with other artists out there, because they were money hungry, I guess.
Yeah. And they couldn't make it on their own, so they used someone else.
Absolutely. And
Okay, the Uniques were a Louisiana band,
all right,
and their big song was "All These Things,"
yeah,
which I think actually Terry Knight and the Pack did.
yeah.
I
And also,
believe.
and all started from my home state of Michigan, Flint, Michigan to be exact, in '65.
Yeah. Next one I got the Unit 4+2.
Unit 4+2.
Yeah, they had
Oh,
one
wow.
hit, which was
Interesting
Concrete and
name.
Clay.
Interesting name there. Not many bands have that kind of a name there. Like a
Well,
code name,
basically,
I
from what I
guess.
understand, they started out as Unit 4,
Mm.
added a couple of guys, and rather than change their name, they just said Unit 4 plus 2.
All right, interesting. Sounds pretty good there. I like that.
Yeah. Next one I got is Vanity Fair.
Mm. And not the
Their
magazine we're talking about.
no,
No.
their big one was a song called "Hitching a Ride,"
Yeah.
which if you heard it, you'd probably know it.
Yeah. And like I said a couple times before, this has nothing to do with the Boston song of the same name. That track is called Hitch a Ride. This
Right.
is
And
Hitching a
it's not the
Ride.
same song. You're
Correct.
absolutely correct.
Yeah, some people are going to start thinking, wait a minute, I thought that this band had the same title there. Not so, folks.
Nope.
So,
Different song entirely.
absolutely there. That's about
But it's a good song in its
all
own
right.
right.
All right.
And next what I got is actually I'm thinking it's might be the 70s, but I'm not sure. Maybe you can tell
Mm-hmm.
me.
Yeah, all right.
Vicki Lawrence.
Oh, yeah, definitely in the 70s. Remember, we all know the song she did and was made
Right.
famous and later became a movie. Started Christy McNichol in it. And
Yeah.
I guess also Mark Hamill from Star Wars.
Yeah. Night the lights went out in Georgia.
Yeah, and I guess
Yeah, that was the 70s. I thought it was 60s, but it
yeah,
was
and
70s.
if I understand, it was also based on a true story.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Next one I got is the
and
Vogues.
also one more thing I want to credit to Vicki Lawrence for making not her mark and just with that song, but also with the Carol Burnett show, and later on with the syndicated series Mama's Family as
Oh
well.
yeah, she was good in both of those.
Absolutely, everyone was good in the Carol Burnett show. Her, Carol Burnett herself, Harvey Korman, Tim Conway. They all four of those guys were the fucking bomb, man. Me, my dad, Michelle used to watch that program continuously.
And Lyle Wagner.
Yes, he's got to get credit as well because he was good
Yeah.
in that show just as well there, as well as his appearances on the Wonder Woman with Linda Carter.
Yeah. Next one I got is the Vogues. The
Mm.
song that most people are going to know is 5 O'Clock World,
Oh,
which for a while, and might have been the whole show, served as a theme for the Drew Carey show when he had his own sitcom.
oh wow,
Big
interesting.
song. They were one of those mellow type groups.
Wow, kind of like the band Bread.
Yeah, yeah. And next group I got is Wadsworth Mansion. Oh, what was their hit's name? What was their hit? Wadsworth Mansion.
Hmm.
They had a one hit too, and I'm trying to remember what it is,
Wow.
but it's not Love Grows Where My. That's,
Edison
right.
Lighthouse. That's what.
That was a
That's
different group.
yeah. Those are different. They're the ones who did "Love Grows Where My Rosemary Goes," which is a great song there.
Yeah. I want to think the Wadsworth Mansion did a cover of something,
Hmm.
and I'm trying to remember what the heck it was.
Yeah.
Let me. Sorry for no research.
It's okay there. Let's see. It was. Give me a description of the name here. Let me help you look it up there, man.
Oh, it's Sweet Mary, What's On Tonight?
Sweet Mary.
That was their
What's
song.
What's on tonight?
Yeah, that was their minor hit.
Wadsworth Mansion.
Yeah, Wadsworth Mansion.
Yeah, there we go.
A decent song,
It came
but
out
it
in
was a small
1970.
hit.
Yeah, and they're Sussex, England. That's where they're based from.
Yeah. And next one I got is the Walker Brothers, which I think we talked about a little bit before.
I think so.
And they
Yeah.
were a pretty strong group. They had 2 hits, and for the life of me, I can't remember the name of either one of them.
Oh wow.
Damn. I'm amazed that I'm having this kind of problem because I
Oh
usually don't.
wow. What's their name again?
The Walker Brothers.
The
Oh, one of them
Walker.
was The Sun Ain't Gonna Shine Anymore.
All right. Let me. I got them up right now here. Man, I'll open up these dang tabs here. American pop group the 60s to 70s include Noel Scott, Engel, John Walker, and Gary Leeds. They had
Right,
songs like The Sun Ain't Gonna Shine No More, No Regrets,
right.
Light Up a Thousand Dances.
Yeah, there's another one that
The, yep, let's see here. And John Walker, I guess it was Scott and John Walker. John Walker from that group was diagnosed with liver cancer. He died of it in his LA home in 2011. And so we were very sad there. They had, let's see, they had
they had
other songs,
another fairly major hit. And
Make It
Take It
Easy,
Easy on Me.
or
That's it.
Make It
Make
Easier
It Easy.
on yourself.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah,
The Sun Ain't Gonna Shine Anymore. Make It Easy on Yourself were the big ones,
yeah,
and
that's
they're
right.
both great songs.
Yes.
I just couldn't think of the name
When
of
you
them.
told me it was "Take It Easy on Me," I was thinking the song of the by the Little River Band, "Years On."
Yeah, that no, it wasn't. Different song.
Different
Make
song.
It Easy on Yourself.
Yeah, there we go. There.
And both of those are good songs.
All right.
Okay, next group I got on here is We Five,
We Five.
and their big hit was "You Were
Hmm.
on My Mind."
Oh wow, We Five.
Yeah,
That's
W.
interesting. Definitely We Five. It almost sounds like a boy band name when you think about it. There.
Yeah, but they had a female lead singer.
I see there because so many of there was, I remember there was another group with a five in their name, not just John Five, the guitar player from Michigan, who by the way, who I remember seeing play with his old band, Pepperland, back at the original Ritz nightclub in Roseville, Michigan, back around 1988, 89, 90. I remember him there. And I also thought of another singing group called High Five, whose a couple of members passed away a couple of years back. They had a thing called the Kissing Game, but that was an
Oh,
R&B hit. So when I hear five and with the relating to a music group, I'm thinking of those that I mentioned there. Now
oh,
included,
there's others.
yeah, that's true there. The Dave Clark Five, we know that. That's for sure.
Yeah,
Who we mentioned a few
Five
times.
Americans.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Next one I got is a guy by the name of Wilbert Harrison.
Mm.
His big song was Kansas City. Going to Kansas City.
Yep. Which the
Kansas
Beatles later,
City, hear it. Yeah,
yeah, which the Beatles later covered in their earlier albums there.
yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Next one I got is the Woolies.
Oh, the Woolies. Hmm.
Their big hit was a song called Who Do You Love? It's been covered by lots of people.
George Thorogood and the Destroyers, and Bo Diddley as well.
Quicksilver Messenger Service. In fact, they
Absolutely.
did a 20-plus minute version of it.
Oh, wow. Interesting there.
And then one of my favorite little-known groups, the Youngbloods.
Oh, yeah. We know the song they
Their
did.
big one was Get Together.
Yeah, absolutely.
Love that song.
Absolutely.
Personally, I think
they came out
one
in
of my favorites.
'68. And I guess that was
Yep.
written. It was written as a response to all the turmoil throughout 1968 with all the anti-war riots and protests, as well as the assassinations of Robert Kennedy and Martin Luther King Jr.
Yeah, in fact, a couple of groups I played in, we covered that song.
Yes.
It sounds difficult to play, but it's not.
Yeah. Very easy tune to play and a very easy song to listen to as well and to relate it as well.
Yep, yep. And last one I got, we've mentioned, but I wanted to kind of talk about them again a little bit.
Yes.
The Zombies.
Oh yeah, Rod Argent and the boys there.
Their big hits, of course, were She's Not There, Tell Her No.
And of
Just
course,
Out of Reach,
yep,
and Time of the Season.
yep.
But it kind of their last album was oddly their most successful one, and it got released after they broke up,
Oh wow.
which was the album called Odyssey and Oracle with Time of the Season on it.
Yep.
But that also has that song that I've talked about a couple of times,
Mm-hmm.
Carousel 44, which
Ah.
they play the beginning little bit in a commercial. Belvita, I believe.
All right.
It's kind of like "Good morning to you. I hope you're feeling better," and they kind of play that. But if you sit and listen to the song, it's about a guy that's talking about his girlfriend coming home because she's been in prison,
Wow.
and that's what the song's about. But it's a good song.
Yeah. You
There's
know what?
another one on the album called.
Interesting
Go ahead.
there. Interesting. Now, we mentioned this before. Some these companies, always these manufacturers, whether it's clothing or food or sports gear, they'll see a song that they hear a song that they see fitting for advertisement, despite the topic of the song itself. Like
Yeah,
for instance, two big examples we mentioned before, "In the Air Tonight" by Phil Collins. That song was
right,
written about his divorce from his first wife, which I understand was a
right,
very nasty divorce because all the love songs he wrote afterwards were filled with anger and angst and resentment. Like, do you care? Can't we talk about in the morning and other shit like that? Like it
right.
or not, you've done it this time. He carried it throughout his solo career and with Genesis as well. And years later, "In the Air Tonight" would not only be featured in Miami Vice, but also in a Michelob commercial.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, come on,
There's,
man. And let's not
yep,
also forget the year before, "Revolution" by the Beatles being used in a Nike commercial, which I
yeah.
understand,
Which is
which was really set a lot of people off there. The people were throwing verbal jabs at Michael Jackson because a couple years before a year before he bought up the rights to the Beatles songs. But then again, I remember hearing around that time it was apparently Yoko Ono who gave permission to use that song, to keep Lennon's legacy alive, I guess. But the thing
it
was,
was just kind of weird. That has nothing to do with shoes, and
exactly.
yet
But I guess the
I don't
idea
know.
is like Nike's a revolution. Let's have the Beatles back us up for it. But bullshit. It's a song where Lennon calling out the anti-war movement for using warlike antics such as violence and screaming, shouting to solve the Vietnam War. Just to have end
Yeah, it
that.
was kind of that was his whole point was the irony and all that.
Exactly. Why doing the same thing that you're fighting against?
Yeah.
Obi-Wan
Okay. Yeah.
Obi-Wan Obi-Wan Kenobi said it best. You had become the very thing that you swore to destroy.
Yeah.
And that's what Lenin
Yeah.
was trying to make in Revolution.
Yeah. And the last two songs I want to mention on that album
Yep.
was one called "Changes," which is really a decent song,
All right.
and then the other one is "Butcher's Tale," which is another anti-war song,
Ah.
which is a really strong song. You need to listen to it.
All right there. Butcher's Tale by who did the
The
Youngbloods?
Zombies.
The Zombies. Definitely, I'll
Zombies.
definitely check it out there.
It's a pretty
Intense there.
strong song. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's intense. It really is.
All right.
And let's see what that was it for the ones that I had for
All
the
right.
60s.
Okay.
And then we were going to move on to the stuff eventually, I guess we can kind of start it, that became part of the 60s or the late 60s. That was the psych,
Yeah.
early prog, early metal,
Yeah.
underground.
Underground stuff there.
And first group I'm going to mention is going to go way off the beam on the west on the alphabet that we were doing.
Yeah.
It's a group by the name of the West Coast Pop Art Experimental Band. Yes,
Hmm.
that's their name.
Wow. I think I remember hearing that name a long time ago. I forgot which period it was, but I guess they were like experimental pop group, like the name suggested.
Yeah, they were considered part of the underground scene.
Ah,
Their song that is really a great song, got great little guitar, kind of some weird lyrics,
all right.
is called As the World Rises and Falls.
Ah, kind of like look at humanity its own self. We see humanity rise, but we see humanity destroys itself in the end.
Yeah, it's a song worth listening to, I
All
think.
right. Yeah, definitely.
And the next one I got, kind of in that genre, is Stephen Stills did one album with
Yes.
Mike Bloomfield, Al Cooper, called Bloomfield Cooper Stills in the
Ah.
late 60s.
Oh wow.
That I think side one was Bloomfield Cooper
Hmm.
and side two was Cooper Stills. But there are some great songs in the album, and it's a really hard album. It's kind of a semi beginning of prog and hard metal.
Ah, I see.
It's got some good stuff in it.
Wow, interesting there. And if I understand, Michael Bloomfield was considered at that time a good one of the premium guitar players around there, I guess, right?
Oh yeah, he was actually part of a group called the Electric Flag,
Heard
which
that name, yes.
their biggest song was Another Country,
Ah,
about 8 9 minutes, and it's progress. It's prog,
all
but
right,
it was underground at the time because we hadn't gotten to prog.
all right. It'll be a couple years before we get to that, folks. There, I should say.
Yeah, and another group that was actually '60s group, but I kind of lumped them into the psychedelia because their songs kind of psychedelic. Is a group called Bubble Puppy.
Hmm,
They had a song called Hot Smoke and Sassafras.
I heard of that name somehow. I was looking forward to group Skinny Puppy on one of the digital jukeboxes when I was living in Richmond, Michigan. And it came up Bubble Puppy. I said, okay, this is interesting there. So when you mentioned that group, that's the first thing came to my mind was that.
But yeah, it's a great song called Hot Smoke and Sassafras.
All right, interesting there.
Then you got The Crazy World of Arthur Brown.
Oh yeah, one of the premier shock prog rock artists out there. His song "Fire," the fire poem that starts before that track starts. I am
And
the god.
before that, Fanfare.
That's right. And of course, that's a piece, fire. I am the god of hellfire. I bring you. That was later be sampled by Marilyn Manson on his first record.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of some early delving into psych for the most part.
More like also diving into the occult when you think about it there, because when you listen to
Yeah,
that fanfare fire poem there, it was like talking about being either lying in the bluegrass, green grass I should say. Look at that the blue sky, and all of a sudden the flames start coming out. You're being descended into hell out of the blue.
yeah. And of course, Arthur Brown is famous for eventually being doing some stuff with Alan Parsons.
That's right. Later on, yes.
I think he did Telltale Heart.
Yeah, that's true. And I believe also one of his drummers in this group would later go on to be a part of Emerson, Lake and Palmer, Carl Palmer to be
Carl Palmer,
exact.
yeah.
Yes. And let's not forget this guy. I guess I guess he does shows nowadays. Or well, I guess it may be with a different lineup. He's kind of baldy and on top, but he still has his hair, his goatee and stuff. But he still has that makeup and wild clothing he has at times. But let's also not forget he had that flaming helmet on the top of his head there.
Oh yeah, that was the big thing for him.
That was a surprise there, and I guess he probably had to put on some extra padding on his head before putting that on, So the heat when
Oh, I would think so. Yeah.
when the fry his scalp there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Then let's see. Next one I got is a one album group. They
Mm-hmm.
did one album and that was it.
All right.
They didn't really have any hits, but they were an underground group that
All
did real
right.
well there.
All
And I
right.
mentioned to you once before,
Yeah.
Clear Light.
Clear light.
They did a song called Mr. Blue that's about 6 minutes that kind of talks about Big Brother in a sense.
All right.
It's a Big Brother type song. And it is definitely worth listening to
All
because
right.
it gets not whatever the word is I'm looking for. I'm not even sure, so I won't try.
And this was a French rock group, right?
Not that I'm aware of. I think they were American.
All right, because the one I got here is a band out of France, formed in '73.
No, this group was late 60s.
Ah, Clear Light, and it was one word or is it two words?
It should be 2 words.
Okay, I got you there. So one,
You
two,
find them?
three. I'm looking right now here. All right, there, 67 there. All right. American psychedelic rock band formed in LA, California in '66. Only one studio album. It was met with
Yep.
moderate national success before the group abruptly disbanded.
Yeah, because their lead singer was in some kind of movie. I forget what the deal was,
Mm.
but he didn't want to be associated with that kind of band, so he just quit.
Oh yeah,
And of
let me
course,
look
his
it up.
career never went to nothing.
Oh yeah, let's see here. They had this song. They recorded one single, "Black Roses," and it was
Yeah,
the band. And we're gonna see. There was Bob Seal, guitarist and vocalist, Robbie Robinson with rhythm guitar vocals, Dallas Taylor on drums, and didn't Dallas Taylor
that
later?
gnome will show up later.
Yeah, I was gonna say he was also involved with Iron Butterfly, correct? Oh, no, 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 no,
Actually,
no, no. Correct me. He was involved with Crosby, Stills, and Nash.
right.
Dallas Taylor was. My bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's good there. And the guy you're talking about, the singer, he was either Bob Seal or Robbie Robinson, if I'm correct.
I don't.
And the
His
original
name's
line, and the original lead, Barry McGuire. That's the guy you're talking about, the singer. He was cast as their leader and the vocalist in the movie The President's Analyst.
yeah, but he wasn't the guy that was on the album as their
Yeah,
lead singer.
I know. Yeah, so he was cast in the movie only. There, that's about it. They later added Cliff DeYoung on the lead vocals, and this
That's the
is,
guy.
yep, that's him. And he is the
Cliff DeYoung's the guy that dropped.
yes, and this is the version of the band that was seen on that particular album cover. Somehow
Right.
during the recording progress, often described as brutal. Paul Rothchild, who was also producing The Doors, was not happy with Robbie Robinson's guitar playing skills and pressured the group to remove him. He was replaced by a keyboard player named Ralph Schuckett.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But if you get a chance, you need to listen to Black Roses.
Uh-huh.
They had another song of them called Street Singer,
Mm-hmm.
and then a third one called, well, the whole album's good, but they had a third one called Mr. Blue. I'm trying to
All
get the
right.
ones that were. And Mr. Blue is that kind of like Big Brother type thing where,
Yes.
you know, it's uh,
I think you told me.
it's a pretty insane.
I think you told me about that one time. I think it was many episodes ago.
Yeah, and when you listen to it, like I said, it's about 6 minutes a song,
Yeah.
but you're going to love the guitars in it later.
Yeah.
It starts out
In
kind of,
fact, I did check it out. I see what you're talking about there.
yeah, and the guitars get really intense later on in that song.
Uh-huh.
That's the same thing with Street Singer.
Mm-hmm.
Those guitars are really intense in that song.
All right. All right.
Some early hard
And Cliff DeYoung is
metal type.
yes. Now let's see here. And go the aftermath. And it says here it had some. The album, which was had also had a reworking of Black Roses, released as a single. Some of Bob Seale's psychedelic folk rock songs, like "With All in Mind" and "They Who Have Nothing." It had some
Right.
success in England, but was largely ignored by the U.S., reaching number 126 on the Billboard album charts. Producer Paul Rothschild then pressured the other members to get rid of one of their members, Bob Seale, who was later was replaced by ex-Fug Danny, let's see, Cortage Mar. Now, Cliff DeYoung soon would follow after stating having started work on a second album. The group disbanded in 1968. Two tracks from the second sessions from the second album surfaced in 2006, being Darkness Today and What a Difference Love Makes. The later show,
Yeah.
the second single, showed the group moving into more commercial territory due to the influence of one of the other members, Danny Korchmar.
Right.
Now, of course,
Right.
Cliff DeYoung will later become an actor, appearing in more than 80 films and TV series. And sadly, he died in 2015 of complications from viral pneumonia and liver disease at
Mm.
66.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that album is worth a listen. It's
All
one of
right.
those one-hit albums that it's definitely the whole album's worth a listen. But the songs I mentioned are in my mind, the best ones. Next one I got is Captain Beefheart.
Oh yeah, we know this guy very well. He was a protege. He had that one. I guess he had a song in the early '60s and later hooked up with Frank Zappa, releasing a number of albums, including this one album called Trout Mask Replica, which is often considered a
Yep.
absolute cult classic because every instrument that they're playing on that record is its own self there.
Yeah. He's an interesting listen.
All right.
One of his big ones is a song called Diddy Wah Diddy. Not Do Wah Diddy. Diddy Wah Diddy.
All right. That's good. I remember. Yes.
Next one I got's a group called Fever Tree.
All right.
And their big hit was San Francisco Girls.
Yes.
Although they had several pretty big hits, but San Francisco Girls, most people would know if you go out and find it.
Absolutely. There.
You'll listen to it and go, oh, yeah, I know that song. Next one I got, oddly, is obscure, but they're not because they got probably 30 albums. It's a group called Hawkwind.
I heard of that
They,
group. Lemmy's old band prior to hooking up with Motorhead. Lemmy Kilmister was the bass player for this group, and this was considered one of the first space rock pioneer.
oh,
Pri-
absolutely.
that the concept was space. They a lot of their songs like Silver Machine, the song Motorhead, and a whole bunch of others. They used to have this, girl come out with all this oddball makeup, looking like one of the Nightsisters from Star Wars, but she was mostly in the nude.
Yeah. And like I said, this group with various members
Yes.
put out something like 30 albums, I think. They put out a ton of records.
All right.
But yeah, if you want to listen to dreamy, spacey type music,
Yes.
there's your band.
Absolutely there.
And before we move on to anybody else, uh, I got a list for that I want to go over that you may have heard of this group,
Yeah.
the Amboy Dukes.
Yes, I have. Ted Nugent's old
I,
band.
I was
Yes.
being facetious, but I figured,
Absolutely. Their version of "Baby Please Don't Go," "Journey to the Center of Your Mind." I had an 8-track of one of their albums, so I guess it's when Nugent was fronting the group. There, it was called "Survival of the Fittest." It was a live album. Mr. Jones'
yeah.
Hanging Party was a good song there. A lot of good stuff. The
And
Nuge really.
didn't that album have a live version of Migration?
I'm not too sure. It's been ages, but Nugent was he was one of the. I guess you could say. I guess it fits to say that Michigan rock bands around that time were a lot more hardened and edgier at
Yeah.
that time. So look, like them,
Well,
the MC5, Iggy Pop and the Stooges, a couple others. You know,
they were kind of pre-metal, but not really metal.
yeah. I
Uh,
remember Nugent even said in an interview while sort of Mick Jagger get on the singer rah 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 rah. Their singer be like rah 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 rah, that kind of stuff there.
well, Nugent didn't actually sing much
Yeah,
on the
nope.
first albums.
He was just a
They
guitar
started out,
player.
yeah, they started out as the Amboy Dukes.
Hmm.
Later on, became Ted Nugent and the Amboy Dukes, and
Yeah.
then we dropped the Amboy Dukes when he went solo.
Yeah, absolutely. There, and Mata started his long-running solo career, which in fact, later on hooked up with the damn Yankees, and then went back to a solo artist, and then also later became a prime political activist. For the conservative crowd
Yep.
there.
Oh, the songs I'm going to cover on this list are going to be Amboy Dukes.
Yep,
We'll get to Ted Nugent when we get to Ted Nugent.
absolutely. And
My
it
number 10 by, go
no,
ahead.
yeah, and by the way, Kevin Hamilton and Bobby McMillan just messaged me back. I'm going to add these guys to the call. Okay, guys, ready? I'm going to add you guys. It's been a while since we added you. Let me repeat that. It's been a while
Did,
since I've talked to you guys since that whole bullshit with Bullfrog last year. Definitely.
do they know what we're talking about?
I will let them know. They're listening right now.
Okay. Oh, okay, good, cool.
All right there.
My number 10 Amboy Dukes song is a song called Gimme Love.
Uh huh.
Some of these you may not have heard, but they're all good songs.
All right.
9 is one called Loaded for Bear.
Nice.
It's called, well, it's Baby Please Don't Go.
Oh yeah, classic there. That the guitar that the Nuge does on that there, awesome.
Yeah.
Kevin, what's
And
up, dude? Bobby, how's it going, guys?
Hey, can you hear me?
hello.
Loud
Yeah.
and clear, guys. Guys, say hello to Arknolia Stroka being there.
Hey.
Hey, Strucklebean.
Yeah.
Remember hearing a lot about you.
Yeah, we've been
been a
doing
while,
we've been
though.
doing a lot.
Has
We
it
did a
been
lot more episodes with Arknolia than I did with YR and Bullfat there.
Bullfat.
Yes, I have no clue what's been going on with Bullfrog. Apparently, there's a lot of drama roasting up in the community here. We
Oh,
have
man.
Dave Rose doing, a lot of live streams. I haven't been able to catch a lot of them, being that they're 4 hours long.
Yeah, man,
But
no, it's true. But I was listening to the one he did earlier today while I was out and about there, and definitely we could definitely hang around, guys. So I'll give it a whole detail of why I will not work with Bullfrog ever again. There, definitely there. Okay, so
Sounds good.
okay, definitely, and it's a lot of good reasons. So other things we need to point up about this guy there. All right, so Ark, did you want to continue, dude?
Okay, number 7, I got the song that he did call with Art Amboy Dukes called Great White Buffalo.
Right, so I
Which
remember
he
that. I remember
did
the
it later on the live album.
Yes, double live Gonzo.
Yeah. And number 6 is a song called Pony Express.
Yep.
Which is a good song because it's talking about, well, the Pony Express.
Uh-huh.
And let's see, number 5, you're on this list somewhere.
Mm.
Oh, here we go. A song called Scottish Tea, which is a really neat instrumental.
Oh, I don't think I've heard that one there.
Well, like I said, these are Amboy Dukes. These aren't
Right.
going to be Nugent.
That's true, yeah.
Number 4 is a song called Hibernation, which also made it to the Double Live Gonzo.
Oh, yeah, that's nice there.
Number 3 is a song called Flight of the Bird, BYRD.
All right.
Number 2, I got some Migration. Did he do that great on the Double Live Gonzo?
I know. I'm not too sure. Yeah.
I'm not real sure on that one, but that's another instrumental.
All right.
Then number 1 is, of course, Journey to the Center of the Mind.
Oh yeah. Which, by the way, you remember the album cover for that of the same title had all these opium pipes, and Nugent to this day said he had nothing to do with that there. But then again, that
Well,
was
it's
the
funny
trend.
'cause-
That was the trend at that time, you know.
Yeah, it's funny because people were telling him about that song about it being a drug song. He says, "No, it's not. It's a song about consciousness." When he found out, no, it's a drug song, he was like,
Oh crap!
"What?" And I don't think he ever plays it anymore.
You know, I don't know. I guess he either refuses nowadays. There, I know the Amboy Dukes. I guess did a reunion show at the Detroit Music Awards a couple years back, from I remember there. And I guess one
Wow.
of the other members, I guess his name was Mark Fisher, died. I guess.
Yeah, I forget what the name of their lead singer was, but
Um, I,
uh,
I think it may
I
have
think
been.
Nugent kicked him out of the
You know,
group.
may he rest in peace. May
Yeah.
he rest in peace.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so if it's okay, Ark, we need tell Bobby and Kevin here the situation with Bullfat there, or Bullqueef as I often call him. As you know, you remember, and remember, Arknolia, you was watching when this whole bullshit went down last year on my channel when it was supposed to have been a part 2 of our discussion about all the other things like Area 51 and all that stuff there.
Right.
Yes. Bobby and Kevin came on as well. Foulmouth Ken from Foulmouth's Network came on. He had an issue to address with Bullfrog with some of the shit he said on his program the night before regarding one of the other guys on the call, Alex Payne from the Bahamas. He's saying Alex Payne, who's a 20-something-year-old snot-nosed kid there, Bullfrog was making these remarks like, I hope your mom dies of breast cancer. I hope your country gets hit by another hurricane. And Ken didn't really appreciate that because, his wife, Shannon, who guys know, had a bout with breast cancer previously before. So Ken wanted to address those issues with Bullfrog, also trying to call in on every program that there is out there, including, Joe Cronin's Foulmouth Network and Gatekeepers Drew Derailed show many times. And of course, Bullfrog was like in denial, said, I only called you about only once or twice and this and that. Bullfrog turned out to be a liar. Because multiple times I showed this to Ken and Joe Cronin, Bullfrog kind of constantly contacted me. Let's do a show there. Let me come on my channel. Let me come on your channel. Multiple times there. Tried to call me a few times when I'm trying to do something on my OBS here out of the blue. Or when I'm at my old job here. Now, while Bullfrog is being addressed of these issues, he is, denying it with top left and center there. Now, Bobby and Kevin here, they brought up something. They were told by Bullfrog, hey, little man, know your role and be quiet there. Know your place. This is grown-ups talk. And Bobby and Kevin are grown-ups. And the only time you guys brought up something was with terms of Bullfrog picking his nose on front of the camera. But what did Bullfrog have to say? You're trolling me. He's being a troll and all this. Yes. No, he's not, Bullfrog. Yes, he is. And he was going on being disrespectful. And the thing that pissed me off is that he was disrespectful to you guys.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons I don't want to deal with the guy at all.
And you even said in my chat that night, if we start doing our show, he does not want Bullfrog around. And I've kept that word. He's no longer allowed on my channel. And in terms of that, guys, Bullfrog has been known a few times, to sexually harass people in people's DMs on Twitter. Hey, let's get froggy, you and I. We'll quit your boyfriend and get with me, this and that. He's supposed to be bisexual. He has often said other perverted shit on the air to Joe Cronin. He's did that with Ken. He one time said on Ken's program when I was on, I would have played with Earl's sexy hair. I was like, fuck no, you fat fuck. It's not going to happen. It's like the guy has the mentality of a 5-year-old child. It's stuck in a 41-year-old body. And a couple times he always tried to be friends with another YouTuber named Tommy NC 2010, who you guys know. He is also come out making claims like everyone is trying to, I'm entitled to this. I could say what the fuck I want. I don't need to raise my hand, to say something there. He'll talk over people, this and that, talk over donations, he does not know how to contain himself a lot of times. And as a result, Joe Cronin had to ban him from a couple of his programs. He's not allowed on my channel no more. He came to, and you can't get anything through to this guy's head. He will not listen.
Yeah.
And, but the thing is, and to make matters worse, he has made he has said a couple times, he's called a dude named Awandi the sand N-word bitch because Awandi was fucking with him on Skype. Now, I would never use the N-word on... Yes, yes. Absolutely. I would never... Now, keep in mind, I would never use that word on the live air, on the stream, or no matter what.
No.
Absolutely. It's bogus. It's racist. I do not condone it. And he has done this many times. Now, there was a debate on Joe Cronin's throwdown after the first presidential debate. Was between Bullfrog and Dave Rose, as you know. Dave Rose won, and Bullfrog kept losing points because he kept talking out of turn or this and that. And he said something like, during that, haven't you guys, crazy fuckers, been in love with a family member? And we're like, oh, well, watching, like, what?
Whoa.
What? Yeah. I was like,
oh
are you...
my God.
Yeah.
Now, Dr. Brown, I have a question. I've always sensed something off with Bullfrog now.
Yeah.
Does he have some sort of mental disability?
I think he has, yes.
Is he...
I think
he's just not
because-
divulging it.
Well, he is.
It's because I was listening to Dave Rose's the stream there, and he said something along the lines of there is something wrong with Bullfrog, and
Absolutely.
he has something that he's hiding from most of the people here, and I feel like this is some concrete evidence that there's a couple screws loose to put it nicely.
There's no doubt about it. He has a mental condition. He is he's on SSI, public assistance. He's made a couple of time claims that he works from home. He worked for the government. He said that to another cat named Junebug, who I did shows with in the past. And I have recorded it on my phone here. It's a thing called the Grand Tribunal of Bullfrog. Now, that was on Dave Rose's channel. It's since has been gone. Why, I don't know why. Bullfrog gets on the air. He starts doing about, don't ever call me ever again. Why are you a piece of shit? You're just an ass kisser, such and such. I don't sexually harass nobody. And then he comes up with these little claims like, you're on SSI too, Dave Rose, when Dave Rose isn't. He's living out on unemployment, but he was working for a non-profit organization which since had to shut down because of the COVID-19 pandemic. But for Bullfrog, say all the things that he has said, he's even threatened to send a bomb to Dave Rose on that particular program. I mean, Bullfrog, he's mentally disabled. Obviously that. Now, he claimed he has this autism like Tommy and C has, like I have as well. But it's more than that. It's obviously more than that. He keeps threatening, and he can't fight his own battles. He always keeps saying, I'm going to send my brother to kick your ass. I'm going to send my brother. I'm going to call my lawyer. I'm going to press charges you for harassing me. He's going to on and on and on and on. And you also notice how he repeats the same thing over and over.
Yeah, I have you said, and then he'd contradict whatever you said a couple sentences later.
Here's one more thing he did. He had a few bouts with a lady associated with Joe Cronin and JB Sports Radio named Michelle. She lives in Vancouver. She was one of the people that Bullfrog was sexually harassing on Twitter. Get your leap easy of your boyfriend, get froggy with me. And Shell went off on him a few times there. Now, on Joe Cronin's corrupted show there on his channel there, they were able to convince Bullfrog to apologize to both JB and Shell, and and that was about it. The next day, Bullfrog gets on the air, I think on his channel or somebody else's show there, I think it was YR's, and he talks more trash about those two, JB and Shell. Joe Cronin confronts Bullfrog about it, and then all of a sudden, Bullfrog starts saying things like, why don't you make me a host of your wrestling program? And he said that the same shit to JB. Make me a host of your sports show there. The guy is desperate to be, he wants attention. He wants to be needed. But he hasn't proven anything that's worth needing.
Yeah, I don't know what is like. It's one thing to be a sidekick, but you got to be a good sidekick. You can't just agree and then say nothing and then get pissed off when people call you out for being
an idiot. And plus, here's one more thing there. I think did I mention this? Son of a name goat. But the thing is, Bullfrog has this tendency he wants to be needed. He wants to be accepted. He even came in the community saying that he's going to be the next Tommy NC 2010 there. Tommy NC 2010 cannot stand him. Now, me and Tommy used to beef a couple of times, but since that we have patched things up, he had the gold fucking nerve to put his ugly head on top of his friend Crystal's body. And he comes up with this bullshit saying me and Tommy are together, and I called him out on it as well.
Yeah, I was able to get in contact with Bullfrog after he contacted me through Skype just about 2 weeks ago, and he invited me to join his Discord server.
Yeah.
And being the man I am, I thought it was nice. I didn't know about all the allegations against Bullfrog up until a couple days ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sitting in the Discord here, and there's a lot of channels here. Let me read them out to you.
Yes. Go ahead.
The channels go general, and then X Pictures Dirty Talking.
What?
Gay X Room with the eggplant and the drooling emoji.
Oh gosh.
Oh, you
Politics
seriously?
is Hell Talk, and then
How
Extreme Sports Talk, and then Candy Shop X Ladies XXX.
Huh?
Extreme Wrestling Talk, WWE/AEW, and the name is too long for me to see on my phone.
Oh
here.
My gosh.
Favorite TV shows and movies, gaming talk, favorite rappers, artists, and then UFO talk with a couple of alien emojis.
Yeah,
there we go.
Now here's the kicker here. You go to voice channels. It goes a My Lily Pad with the drooling emoji.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, dude. Really?
And then Froggy Style Room with the drooling in the heart. And then SmackDown Hotel.
SmackDown Hotel.
Oh my gosh.
Is Bullfrog trying to have Discord sex?
I don't know. The guy obviously hasn't had any poon since. Obviously, the only poontang he's ever had was when he first popped out of by his mom. So he's obviously trying to get himself laid. But I'm sorry, he's not going to get any poontang the way he's acting, let alone the way he looks. I mean, the guy looks like a cracked up Uncle Fester.
Well, isn't his daughter his niece?
Well, yeah, that's the thing. He claimed. I know he had. There was a lot of confusion on that one episode of Monetize This, episode 255 there. And so there was a lot of confusion about that. So a lot of people are going to start, taking shots at him, trying to molest his niece and all that stuff. Bullfrog be like, "Let's knock that shit off, or I get my brother after you." It's like, you can't fight your own damn battles. Obviously, you can't. You just got to run to somebody else. Oh, here's one more thing I got to mention. A couple days after that episode that all of us did, where Bullfrog was talking to Smack, he gets on his channel and he says, claims that I had set him up by bringing Ken on that show. Ken called me.
I think we saw that one.
Yes.
At least I saw one of the Bullfrog ones. I remember I tried. After that show, we watched a little bit of Bullfrog, and I tried saying, "Hey, let me clear the air, let me on," and he just ignored me and he shut me down.
Really?
Yeah.
He also
was just like, stop calling me on Skype, stop messaging me on Skype.
Oh my gosh! And yet he calls everybody else on Skype. He calls about how many times Ken and Joe Cronin there. Well, God knows.
And then, of course, because he doesn't have OBS, he never had OBS set up right.
Yeah.
So I would message him on Skype, and it'd mess the whole stream up because he's all doing everything off his phone.
Mm-hmm. And here's something else. He wanted me to take down that episode, by the way. Because of
Did
how
Did
it
you ever
made.
end up actually taking it down?
Nope, nope,
Good
not
for
at
you.
all. Nope.
Good.
That episode gained over 400 views there, by the way. And here's the thing. Yeah, I even posted it on Twitter saying, should I take down that episode that we did last Sunday? The response was simple, unanimous. No. Keep it up there. Expose Bullfrog for the asshole that he is. It is your channel. I brought this up to Bullfrog. He says, well, that's your fans. No, no, no. I welcome other people, other fans as well. Whatever fans you have, I welcome to state their opinion as well.
Well, yeah, that's what I respect about you, because I mean
Yeah.
that's kind of how at least I got on the show at the first point. It was there was a
Absolutely.
little bit of contention, and you said, "Hey, well, I'll let you on. I'll let you speak your mind," and
Absolutely.
here we are.
Yep, absolutely. And here we are, and I'm and the reason, like I said many times, the way he was disrespectful towards you, telling you be quiet, stop being a troll when you guys weren't really there. I mean, you did let Ken and Bullfrog hash out their issues with one another there. You guys were quiet, and
Yeah.
for them to call you little. And here's one more thing I got to add there, and it'll probably be the last one. I asked about it. Why would you do that on Mars Mirror's program? Why would you call Bobby and Kevin little? And he said, because they're little. Because they're little.
Well, I am a slim fellow, but I wouldn't call myself little. I mean, I'm not corpulent like Bullfrog is, but
I think he meant little as in below him, basically. He's come off many times like, I'm the star of the show. I'm the big draw here. I'm this and that. It's time for my piece of the pie. I want to do Patreon shows with Joe Cronin. I should be doing honestly with Cronin as well, not JB. And I'm sorry, but the thing is, Bullfrog has this theory that he is above everybody else. I don't know where that comes from. I don't know why he thinks that, because he's not. He has trouble getting his words out. He has trouble doing his shows there. He doesn't know how to run an OBS, as we all know. Dave Rose, offered in to help, but he wants a little $50 in exchange for this teachings, and Bullfrog won't do it.
And another thing I've noticed being in the Discord, he promised one of his friends there, Casey is Raw 2000, that if he ever went on Joe Cronin's show, and he'll buy him a video gaming. And he said, like, hey, Bullfrog, you're on Joe again. Where's
I think your voice
Bullfrog?
I think your voice is cutting out
there.
Yeah, Shaw, you're breaking, or Kevin.
Yeah, your voice broke up a couple of times there, man.
Oh, okay, yeah. So, can you guys hear me good now?
Loud and clear.
Yeah. So, he promised Casey is Raw a video gaming console, and Casey is Raw said, like, hey, Bullfrog, you broke your promise there. I want my gaming console. And then Bullfrog, being the man he is, he said, well, I don't have $300 for some gaming console. I have bills to pay.
Yeah, right.
But then, at the same time, he's always talking about ordering pizza and drinking a whole lot of pop every day.
Yes, he's a junk food junkie. Yes, absolutely.
Just like those millennials,
Yep.
If he cut out the pizza, you'd have more money.
Yeah, absolutely. But Bullfrog, he's it's like the pizza fulfills me and makes me happy. So he's a junk food junkie, no matter what. He's just lazy. He won't cook for himself. The only thing he makes is grilled cheese, scrambled eggs, and ramen noodles and nothing else. And plus, of course, YR, I credited him for coming up with this idea there. Mike, just get yourself a slow cooker, put your niece in it, and Bullfrog starts right away. YR, knock that shit off right fucking now. Send my brother to get you. Blah, 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 and all that stupid shit. He cannot defend himself. He's always saying, I'm going to call my lawyer. I'm going to call the cops. He was going to do it on Awandi, who lives in another country, for crying out, for harassing him on Skype that one night.
Yeah, and I find that really hard to believe, since, if he's talking about litigation here, he doesn't have enough money to, buy more pizza. How's he going to afford a lawyer to sue somebody?
Absolutely. And how is he going to press charges to another guy who lives in another country? Think about
That's
that.
just
Yeah.
absurdism at this point.
The guy's mentally. I don't know exactly what he has, but the guy is. He's local in the Capesa, I guess you could say there, and to put terms.
Yeah, he's definitely got a couple of screws loose there.
Absolutely, and he's got this eye. He's mental, no matter what. That's why he's on SSI. He just does something but sit on his ass, fingering his ass, and picking his nose and everything, claiming that he wants to be the top dog, but he's not willing to put in the effort and time into that.
Yeah.
And he's gotten used to it. If he's sitting there just using the government benefits that are meant to be there for people that actually need them.
Yeah, Dave Rose
And
called him
he's
out
just
on
gotten
that.
used to it.
Yeah, Dave Rose called him out on that particular episode as well, the Grand Tribunal. Now, Dave, if you're listening out there, I don't know why you took that down. That episode was top-notch, excellent, man. He's not a help. He won't eat mashed potatoes. He won't eat vegetables. He only buys the stuff that he likes. And the thing is, he's a liar. He's a lying ass queefball, and he just won't. He won't do anything to better himself.
I respect a good con artist, like a Bernie Madoff and, people that, made millions of dollars conning people.
Yeah, with that catch me if you can guy. That guy was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think his name was Frank Abagnale. Something like along those lines.
I just know him as Leonardo DiCaprio,
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, now when you're making money like that and scheming out, entire governments there, that's respectable. Like, even though what you did was wrong, it's respectable that you got away with it. But now, when it comes to Bullfrog here, he does it very poorly. So it's hard to even commend him on anything he's been able to do.
Absolutely, and like I stated before, the way he disrespected you guys was just upsetting, calling you little. You guys are not little. No one here is little. No one in this community is little, to be exact, telling you because to be shut up, this and that, just let the grown-ups talk, and Bullfrog is far from grown up as we have seen many times before.
Yeah.
What can you do? And Dr. Brown, I know you said that episode had 400 views, but I'm having trouble finding it here on the YouTube channel. Would you mind linking it?
Yeah, it's actually, I can, you can type this in, Dr. Earl Live, Dark Side of the Pantry.
Such creative titles.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I come up with a lot of. When I do my simulcast with Minnesota Vikings fan for Real Spuck TV, I often come up with little song lyrics for my titles of that there as well.
Okay, I think I see it here. It's 1 hour and 55 minutes.
1 hour? No, I believe it's more. I believe it's more than an hour there. It has It has the 84 lineup of Black Sabbath as the lineup, and it has the thumbnail there.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. What started as a simple Sunday night show soon became an unexpected verbal war between Bullfrog and Foul-Mouth Ken. Yep, this is it.
Yep, that is it right there. Yeah. And like I said, when me and Arknolia started our series of programs, one of his requests, no Bullfrog, and I'm happy to oblige. He was disrespectful towards everybody on the call, including you guys. I cannot work with someone of that nature. He's 41.
And that's commendable of you.
Yes, exactly. I said it that many times on the Mars Mira's and Ken's program there.
Yeah. What a shame. When I heard about Alien Sunday, I got excited, but
wow. And that Alien. When I think of Alien, I think of Scott McKinnon there at times because he's often called the Alien because of his past obsession with UFOs and everything, government conspiracies.
Yeah, I love UFOs as much as the next guy, and I
Yeah.
was actually trying to get a show on with Bullfrog there, but he would always, ignore me, even though
Yep.
he would say like, yeah, let's do a show, but then he'd be like, okay, Bullfrog, I'm ready, we can do a show now,
Yeah.
and he'd say, well, no, my head hurts, or I haven't eaten anything.
His head hurts from me actually thinking for the first time there. Most likely. That's what I'm thinking
Yeah,
there.
and then he just gets really annoying to the people around him here, and like I said, I am in his Discord.
Yeah.
Half of the entire Discord is just pornography, and
Absolutely. He's
I
bisexual as he claims, he goes into men and women and stuff. And he doesn't know how to contain himself in terms of trying to hit up on people. He'll go after men and women and such, as I mentioned in a couple of times before, in people's Twitters, on people's Skype.
yeah, and to clear the air there's nothing wrong with being bisexual, at least in my opinion.
Yeah.
Your body, your life, and your feelings.
Yeah.
But but when you portray that to everyone else, and in
Yeah,
like
he
a
is.
public forum,
Yes.
that's when it gets a little concerning.
Yes, he has many times in the past, shoved his sexuality down people's throats. Bring it up 20 all the time there. Trying to hit up on this person, that person here. And I'm not the only one who agrees with it. Joe Cronin agrees, Minnesota Vikings fan, and his cousin's Minnesota Silver Roll agrees. YR now agrees. Dave Rose definitely agrees. Arknolia here agrees. The guy is. He claims he has all these fans. He has all these, supporters, but we have yet to hear any supporters come on his show or come on any programs defending him. Think about
And
that.
I think it's because any fans that he did have there, he pushed away basically because of his
He has.
hypocrisy, time and time again.
Yes, even YR pointed that out. All the people that tried to help him, he has pushed them aside. And who wants to work with a person of that nature? We don't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. I mean, I cannot work with a guy with that kind of mentality there. That's all I'm going to say. After I left Metal Maniacs with YR, I just, I figured, would do some shows with the guy. But now it turns out I was more, YR was, and Arknolia here were 20 times better co-hosts than Bullfrog.
And when you don't really offer anything other than sitting and folding your
Picking
neck.
your nose.
Yeah, and trying to get a word to go before you speak one word. I mean, like, come on, that's I'm sorry, that's not entertainment. That's idiotic, And Bullfrog really demonstrated that when he acted the way he acted towards Ken, me, Dave Rose, and everybody else, Oh, and one more thing I got to mention. Remember that debate between him and Dave Rose on Joe Cronin's throwdown at the first presidential debate there between Biden and Trump? Bullfrog lost. He lost all these points. Dave Rose emerged victorious. Bullfrog's like, despite saying the crazy shit he said minutes before, he's like, I want my points back. You want us to give me your points back? Yes, I feel like I was cheated. I feel like I was robbed. I want my points back, and such and such. And then that's when Awandi and Bolsey started hitting it up on Skype, and that's when he starts screaming his head off. Wandi, please stop. And here's the stupid thing. He even said, Joe, make it stop. Make it stop now. I'm going to shoot you, Joe Cronin. I'm like, he has this idea that Joe Cronin runs this whole community when he doesn't. He even said it on the Real as Fuck TV and on my channel. He said, like, Joe Cronin is the fierce leader of this community. And we're like, no, he doesn't. This community runs its own self. This community is anarchy at its best and worst. But like we said, you cannot get through anything to the guy's head.
Yeah.
You know,
Sad.
I know it's sad. You know, that's why I will not. That's why I will not
Sad.
work with him no more. And that's why whenever he gets on his stupid shit, you know, and that's why I need to call in. A couple of times, you know, Joe Cronin was asking me to come on his programs, you know, to debate Bullfrog, you know, to go after him. You know, because because they often applaud me for putting him in his place. There was another debate we had on his corrupted pre-show, which, according to Joe and everybody else, I prevailed over him.
Yeah.
And it seems like he has been pampered. Obviously, I don't know by the everyone gets a trophy type of crowd, but obviously, you know, the guy needs to go to Detroit to see how it really is. So I'm going to say there, or the downtown Houston area where life is rough. Let's see how he handles himself in 7 Mile and Van Dyke back in Detroit. He won't last a minute there. I guarantee that.
Yeah. Yeah, he thinks he deserves everything on a silver platter.
Yeah, I'm thinking what it was. He probably got raised by all these sensitivity people out there. You know, oh, don't worry, we won't. Don't pick on the guy. We won't make fun of you. Maybe you need to be picked on to wake your ass up. What a queefball that you are, Bullfrog. Now, of course, he's going to probably get on if he ever does another live show because they've done that as of late. I think he has. He'll probably combat this. He'll probably dare me to come on, saying, "Get on the call with me, you coward," such and such. There, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, a little bullying helps. It builds character, and
Yeah, it does.
he
You
just
know,
does not have any character.
Yep, and sadly, Bullfrog will never have any character the way he is. You know, he needs to realize that it's not all about him.
Yeah.
And like I said, you know, the way he disrespected you two guys, you know, it was the second time you were on my channel. This is the third. Actually, this has been about almost a year since you've been on my channel since that whole ordeal. I was wondering what happened to you guys there. I thought, oh God, you must have been, oh fuck this, you know, fuck Bullfrog. I'm not gonna go on this show there because of this idiot there. Like I said,
Well,
it all ties with them soon after that.
I'm not gonna get too much into it. I can't speak for Kevin, but myself, I actually got into a little bit of legal trouble surrounding this whole, this
I
whole
see there.
coronavirus thing.
Oh wow.
You know that when they say you have to you must wear the mask, or if else, you know what
I know.
Nancy Pelosi, yeah.
Yep.
Well, they mean it. You know, those Gestapo people, they're tough. So I
By
got
the way,
in a little bit of trouble around that.
Speaking of which, you know, I know if you, I made a video about this the day it was announced. Greg Abbott, the governor here in Texas, he announced that starting today, the mask mandate has been lifted, and that soon all of Texas will be reopening 100%. I guess I don't know if it includes the nightclubs, other restaurants, other stores, and other stuff will be reopening soon. And they'll possibly say that the choice to wear a mask will be dependent on either the stores or the individuals. Now, the H-E-B grocery chain here in the state, you know, they're still requiring everybody to wear a mask, and I think Walmart is as well, you know. So
Well, that's what it should be. You know, the government.
That's
Get
true.
the government. What was that Ronald Reagan said? The 8 scariest words
Yep.
in the English language are
Yep.
"I'm with the government and I'm here to help."
Yeah,
You know,
I think
get
so.
that
Yeah,
government out
he
of
did
here.
say
You know?
that. He did say that. He even said government is the main problem. He did say that. He was right on the dot. And here's Barack Obama back in 2014 saying, telling us to ignore those words. I don't think so. I don't think so, homie. Doesn't work like that.
Yeah, get that government out of there.
Yeah, keep government out of the bedroom, our business, our kitchen, and
Yeah.
everything else. Do your job and get this. Do whichever you can, you know, to protect us. You know. I don't know if
Yeah,
I don't know if these idiots out there are gonna who wanted Biden in so desperately will see it in the long run. We do not know. I don't have a crystal ball. But if something goes goes up the, or actually goes down the Schitt's Creek there, they'll have themselves to blame. Is all I'm going to say.
Yeah, well, Texas will be has always been the Lone Star state, and
Absolutely. I'm glad I moved
Red
here.
Dawn happens, Texas will be you guys are lucky down there. You got
Yep.
everything's independent,
Absolutely.
when the power grid falls to the communists, you guys got your own power grid, when
Absolutely. That's one of the reasons why I moved here from Michigan. Michigan was on kind of like standing on a plank, I guess you could say, about to be dropped off into a shark infested waters there, and I just couldn't handle the way it was back then. So I much credit to my sister and her husband for helping me get out of that pit hole of a state here and then a better state of Texas. Thank goodness.
yeah,
Yeah.
no taxes too.
Yeah, exactly. Thank goodness
Well,
for
very
that.
few.
Very few, yeah, that's true there. And that's when I ran into Arknolia here, who lives in Texas himself there. We were talking a couple of Texas groups there in our lineup. Blood Rock, Sir Douglas Quintet there. So have you been following this program as much, guys?
No, like I said, I'm sorry. I had well, it looks like we lost Kevin there. It
Yeah, I
says
saw,
he'll
yeah.
be back.
Hmm.
Like I said, I was kind of in and out of a little bit of, like I said, well, I don't want to get too much into it, but
Yeah.
I haven't been able to follow along too
Yeah,
heavily.
Kevin says he'll be back there. Well, I'm glad you
Okay.
guys. I'm glad you guys. I was able to come on the program because I was wondering what happened to you two dudes, man. It's been a
Yeah,
while
no,
since. I
I
know we
can't wait
miss you.
to. I want to discuss more of that. We were getting into some good conversation last time.
I
Area
know.
51 and, and,
Yep,
and
we
aliens
did.
and stuff.
Yes, you, me, Bullfrog, Kevin, and of course Dave Rose joining in. And I don't
I,
know. I should probably contact Dave Rose to see if he wants to join in as well because he, as we all know, he did his thing on Bullfrog's bullshit the night before on Joe Cronin's Throwdown there. Now keep in mind, Bullfrog is only banned on Cronin's program Monetize This, which airs on the Corrupted Nation channel on Friday nights there. But he's allowed on the other programs, whether it's Corrupted Podcasts or Pre-Show or Throwdown or Out of Nowhere, his wrestling program.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so that's
Yeah.
pretty much about it so far. But either way, the best thing to do is ignore Bullfrog, not watch him or acknowledge him when he comes on the program, just the best thing to do is probably fuck with him, like the way Filthy Mouth
Yeah.
Gamer does and a couple others did when he's on that other program, Farmhouse Network there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it seems like, last time we were talking, he just couldn't handle some of the big ideas they were talking about. Those big, big brain,
Yeah.
ideas like
Yeah, like
Area 51.
exactly.
And I don't
Exactly.
really want to derail the conversation. I know it's your show and,
I
and you're
know.
talking about music, but
Yeah, but we do
yeah.
need, but it is and need to be, but this issue had to be addressed. I feel I had to talk to you guys to let you know the situation because I know Kevin was like, I was wondering how come you don't work with Bullfrog no more, and I figure I explained the reason why.
Thank
The
you.
details because I didn't know if you was aware of the other situations regarding.
No, I wasn't aware of much. All I know is just shortly after, he just kept going off, and I kept trying to message him saying, "Hey, let me clear the air," and he said, "No, don't. I don't want you on my show.
Oh, really? He said
Stop
that to you?
messaging me."
Oh
Yeah,
my
something
gosh.
like that.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. As I mentioned, he'll message everybody else, whether it's Joe Cronin, Falmouth Ken, and he'll call about 20 something times there just to get on for about how many minutes there. He did it with Ken's wife Shannon. She has a program of her own called Flip Flop Friday. Bullfrog was trying to call in how many times there, talking about somebody else
Yeah.
playing the
See,
victim.
you gotta respect the program. You gotta respect the person's wife, especially. She's putting herself out there. Respect what she wants to do
Absolutely,
with her
yes.
show.
Yeah.
But Bullfrog, as we know, doesn't understand. All he cares about is gaining recognition for himself, no matter what. And
Yeah, he's
You know, that's
He doesn't
pretty
get
much
it.
that's the only thing I could really say about the douchewad because like I said, I will not. He's not going to be allowed on my channel unless he apologizes to you two. But the thing is, he went back on his word with Shell and JB months back. So trying to get an apology out of him would be hard work its own self.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I'll try it. You know, I don't want to. I really hate burning bridges, so I'll always keep the door open if he does want to come back and apologize. Let me
All right.
back on his show. I
Yes.
mean, I've never been on his show because
Mm-hmm.
first time was with you guys, and then he got all huffy and puffy.
Yeah,
He
no,
just couldn't handle the big brain ideas we were talking about. Those aliens and stuff.
Exactly. Like he only things he talks about are things he understands, whether it's pro wrestling. Right. He doesn't really know much about pro wrestling. He says he's been watching since '96. I've been watching since '84.
I've been watching since the '60s.
Yeah, way back when.
Although I haven't watched much in the last 5-10 years.
Well, most of the wrestling nowadays, whether it turns with the WWE, is kind of like a bleh, And right now, the big hit honcho is now eating up their old talent is AEW.
You know, especially when it comes to like pro wrestling and Bullfrog, I'd even be willing to call him out and be like, Bullfrog, let's go on the air together, and let's try to water under it. I don't know if he's watching right now or if he was watching.
Yeah, Bullfrog, if you're watching this,
but
But he won't come on the air because he knows I'll win to have his way with him. I did it many times on Ken's program, Joe's program, and a couple other programs, JB's program as well. Because he knows I'll probably make him lose his balls verbally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll shoot him a message here that
I just
if you want to clear your name,
bury the
hatchet,
Yeah. But then again, if he will out, like I said, if he's going to bury the hatchet, that's the thing. If he's up to it, because like I said, he's very arrogant, very stubborn.
Oh
believes that he is right. And that's not the way to be in this business here. Everybody has a chance to speak their mind, and that's it.
If he's not gonna apologize, you just gotta tell him that GT. I don't really want to swear, but GTFO, GTO. There, get out. You gotta get out.
Get the fuck out. GTO. We all know that.
Yeah. Bullfrog's got a GTO.
Yep, absolutely, but he won't because he's so desperate for that attention there.
Yeah. Well, back on the topic of music, I'm not really a 60s rock fan, but I do know a little bit of 60s and 70s jazz. If you guys heard of the song,
we'd be interested in cover that too.
Yeah, I really like Birdland by Heavy Weather Report.
Oh, yeah.
Great song.
I've heard of that group many times.
Scarlet Woman, that's good.
Yeah.
Chick Corea's in that group.
Yeah, who passed
away? And I think Wayne Shorter.
Wayne Shorter. Now, Chick Corea, didn't he pass away not too long ago? I believe he did. Or let me check it out there. Chick Corea there. What am I talking?
Yeah, Birdland. Actually, I think the Weather Channel used a little bit.
Yeah, I mean it's a great song. And then what's this
called Scarlet Woman's good.
Yeah. I mean I like the whole album Heavy Weather. That's just a good album in my opinion.
Yeah. And their bass player Jaco Panastris, I think his last name is pronounced. He was the subject of a documentary there because he was considered like a Hendrix on the bass guitar. And then possibly one of the main influences for Robert Trujillo of Metallica. And it says here he died this past February at 2021 at February of this month It was
Oh, jeez.
wow. He was like a composer. He was a project called Return to Forever. They released some mini albums. His compositions: Spain, 500 Miles High,
Yeah,
La Fiesta,
yeah, he had some
Windows are
solo
considered
stuff.
yeah, and are considered jazz standards here. He worked with labels like Warner Brothers, Dredge, Polydor, and ECM Records. And he was 79 years old when he passed away.
Well, of course, if you guys know anything about jazz, you've obviously heard of Dave Brubeck.
Oh, yeah, there you go. It's a classic. Time Out or Take Five, classic there.
Take Five,
Absolute
Rondo.
classic, dude. My dad had that record. I often listened a couple of times.
Oh, yeah.
Absolute classic, dude.
You know, I haven't been more of a older jazz guy, but I'm a lot into the newer stuff by like some artists like Future and things like that. They have songs like Mask Off, where they would take songs from like the 20s and 30s, and they would sample those beats, and then they would make, you know, cool little rap hits.
Yeah.
And you know, a lot of my friends there at work, where I work, they're young and they're hip, and they play that music, and I'm growing a fondness to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, we want to talk about modern jazz. I mean, there's some good drummers like Nate Smith or Chris Daddy Dave. Like, those are some good jazz hits in my opinion.
All right.
Yeah. And I mean, we talked about geez, what was it? Trying to think, it was a little while ago, before all the Great White Buffalo. That's the song.
Yeah.
Something modern that's like Great White Buffalo in my mind is
The band?
Change Your Ways or Die, like by the Cactus Blossoms.
And we're talking about a band called Great White Buffalo, I take it there?
No, that's the
the song.
the set,
Nugent
or the
song.
classic still, man.
Yeah.
Yep, classic
Yeah,
song
they did.
by him.
He did it as part of Amboy Dukes, and then on the Great Gonzo album, he did it live.
Yeah, Double Live Gonzo. Yes, I remember how one of our neighbors had that album there. I played it a lot of times there.
Yeah, that's among the classics of live albums.
Yeah. Yeah, so definitely got to have you guys come on to the next program. I'm not too sure we'll be, because, you know, my work schedule and shit, you know, a lot of times I'll be working till about 9 p.m. at times. I'll be able to do it if I'm working in the morning there and get off at about 4 or 5 p.m. there. But, or if I have the day off like I do today there. But definitely, we'd like to have you two guys come along again, you know, contribute to this program. Definitely. We look forward to that.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to talk more about, you know, UFOs and stuff. And
we could do that.
How interesting it is how UFO sightings have kind of gone up a little bit since, you know, Biden was
elected.
You know, put into office, I'll say. And it's funny how you know, I don't know, in my mind it gives some merit to the idea that, you know, the Clintons and the stuff, that there are reptilian overlords. If, you know, Trump, who is a real man's man, a real guy, all of a sudden UFOs kind of go away for a little bit, you know, everything goes under the radar. And now, once, you know, we go back to the nothing fundamentally will change in power.
Yep.
You know, UFOs get back up. And I'll say this: I was at the, I went to the Capitol a couple weeks ago. I went to Arlington National Cemetery, and you know the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier.
Yes, yes, we remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't get anywhere near it. You can't even see it. Like they put the barriers so far back, you can't even see the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. Of course, they're going to say it's for COVID, but I know what it really. I mean, so Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. The idea is that there's somebody buried under there. That we don't know who it is. It just represents all of you know, all of the MIA and KIA, you know, people that were untagged.
Yes.
But you don't need any body. You don't need any physical body to represent that. Just the tomb in and of itself is a representation. So if you don't need anything underneath this big tomb that's always heavily guarded,
Yeah.
well, what are you putting under there? You're putting something else under there. And I think, and I could be wrong, it could be something else. I think that's where they store at least some of the adrenochrome or something that, the Biden needs. Now that he's in power, they got to restore those reserves. They got to get a lot more because, he's the oldest president we've ever had.
Oh, wow.
They got to put those in there. So they got to block it off so that the people don't see what they're putting in that tomb. And I mean, think about it. It's a tomb that's always 24/7 guarded by like the creme de la creme of guards. It's known for being the
like
most,
those guards in England there as well.
Exactly. It's known for being like the highest level of honor is to guard the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, famous for its changing of its guards, always prepped and proper, and it's in the middle of a very solemn cemetery. This is not some place that you would think. This is the last place you'd suspect that you'd do something nefarious in a cemetery. Yeah. Now, I'm not saying the entire cemetery is fake. Every other grave is going to have somebody there. Yes. Cemetery in and of itself is a cemetery. I'm just saying that the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, just the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, is not actually have a body under it. I think it's a storage facility. And I think at least part of it stores adrenochrome. It could store other stuff. It could store different stuff. But they're putting something under there now because they've blocked it way off. You can walk up to the eternal flame. I walked it. You can see the eternal flame. You can't get as close as you typically can, and they did fence it off a little bit. You can't get 100% right up next to it, but you can see it at least. And I mean, there's no reason for them to have blocked off the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier as far as they've blocked it off. I mean, and you don't trust me, look it up. I mean, you can talk to somebody. You can go to DC right now. I mean, there is open travel at least. Go to DC, you can see it's blocked off, and there's big signs. Stop. Do not pass this barrier. And you can see there's guards on the other side of the barrier that, I didn't test going past it, but I'm sure if I did, somebody would run up to me and say, "Hey, what are you doing? Get back out of there." I think it's because they're trying to do something without us seeing it. Because it's awful. You can't see. I went there hoping to see the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, and there's definitely enough space there that you could block it off and have social distancing or whatever, and still see the changing of the guard and still see all the stuff. But they really blocked it off.
Obviously, they're interesting there. You have a point there because there are a lot of many areas around possibly around the states there that are heavily guarded for an obvious reason, not just Area 51.
Yeah. Fort Knox. I mean, you got gold there, but there's going to be places where they're storing stuff, so those would be the places that you would try and get into. What they're storing is a body. It's a symbol. So nobody's going to think that, I'm going to go defile. Because first of all, you're going to defile a grave. Well, who's going to do that? Who's going to go out of their way to dig up a grave? I mean, that's kind of why I think it's a perfect hiding spot, because
absolutely
person with a soul would exactly, and it is disrespectful. It's awful, but. That's why I think they're hiding something there.
Yeah, most likely. I would not be surprised, in how most of the Democrats are these days.
Yeah.
They're keeping the shit up, keeping shit secret like they usually are.
And I think it's a better hiding spot than like the Smithsonian, for example, because Arlington National Cemetery is not in D.C. It's not in Washington D.C. It's across the Potomac. It's in Arlington, Virginia. It's in a different area. It's across the Potomac River. It's not in DC proper, so it's not super close. It's close. I mean, it's still on the metro line. It's like just across the river, but it's not actually in DC. It's slightly farther away. So I think it's a perfect hiding spot.
Interesting there. Very interesting there. So whoever planned it out had the right idea there to hide this all this stuff there.
Oh, I mean, I'm sure they were hiding. I mean, they've got hidey holes in DC all over the place that have been there since DC was first planned 300 years ago. I mean, well, not 300, but 200 years ago, 150. Boy, my math's a little wrong.
Ages ago, I guess to say.
Yeah, when they were planning out DC, and I'm sure, when somebody said, let's do Arlington National Cemetery, by the time they were planning out Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, they had enough stuff to hide. I mean, I don't know, maybe they were using adrenochrome back then, but
Yeah. I never even heard of it myself, but I'm just guessing sort of, fluid or liquid or chemical, I guess it is.
yeah, it's an extract. I don't know exactly the process, but essentially it's how they extract it. But
Mm.
essentially it's a an extract of a chemical that we use that basically it's very rejuvenating. I've heard it's
I
like getting
see.
an adrenaline shot or getting steroids.
Vaccine?
Um, I wouldn't say a vaccine, but I'd say like
Because you notice, remember, as soon as he won, Biden won the election, that's when we started to hear about this vaccine coming up.
man, I
Now
don't
you
know.
see here, because Donald Trump was in the hospital for 2 days, and you
I
don't
remember,
you
yeah.
don't magically get better from the coronavirus in 2 days. They had to give him some sort
I
of
know they had to mess him.
injection.
How much drugs did they give the guy? I mean, like, of course, but then again, they had to do something quick because he was
Well,
on
I
this
mean,
he was on this doing presidential campaign at that time for re-election. So they
I'll,
obviously
I'll
had
And
to
not
just
use
even that,
something
he
there.
is the leader of the free world here. He has the nuclear thingies and like that. And if he's sick and he's out of commission, we would have had
Pence.
Mike Poopy Pence on,
Yeah.
the Democrat lover on the
Mike
president, and
Pence,
what he would have done.
who I understand is a lot more conservative than anybody else up there. Chances are, if he ever got into office during that time, he maybe would have executed Order 66 on the bisexuals and the gay people out there.
Yeah, he would. Yeah, Mike zap the gay away.
Yeah,
Pence. I'll just say this, Dr. Brown.
yeah.
You want to know what adrenochrome does? Look no further than Nancy Pelosi. How old
Okay.
is Nancy Pelosi?
I don't,
200, 300 years old?
I don't know,
And
but she needs
and
what she
she's
needs.
ticking. And she's got energy somehow.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've seen old women like her, and they don't have energy like she does. That's adrenochrome. That's
I
the
don't.
adrenochrome.
Ah, maybe
Hillary
that's what's
Clinton,
going. Maybe that's
adrenochrome.
yeah. That's why I'm thinking the same thing. They're probably using that as for this upcoming vaccine that all these companies like Johnson and Johnson are manufacturing right now.
Yeah, maybe.
I was never a smart kid in school, but
Hmm.
I respect someone coming in late and still with the C or 70% efficacy. I respect the man. They
Yeah,
still got the job done.
yeah, that's true. Yeah. All right. So, wow, interesting stuff. One of these days, get a hold of Dave Rose, get a hold of you guys, possibly either Joe Cronin or Foulmouth Ken on this call here. We should probably do something like this, possibly on over the weekend when they get off of work and stuff like that. We got to definitely do this, man. I got to make some possibly an arc. Definitely, you're invited just as well, man. Definitely got to have you included here. And also have
Okay.
the boys from Real Spuck TV, the two Minnesotas, Vikings fan, the Super Bowl hunter. Got to have them included as well. Have ourselves a massive shindig, definitely.
Now, Dr. Brown,
Yeah,
me and Bobby have a couple other friends there. Now, would they be able to be invited as well if we'd like to have them
absolutely.
on
I
the show?
welcome. Yeah, absolutely. I welcome a lot of people. I welcome a lot of good people here, definitely.
Yeah, thank
Okay,
you so much, Doctor.
let me read something
Let's try
here
and
about
schedule it.
adrenochrome.
All right, go ahead, Ark.
Adrenochrome is synthesized by the oxidation of adrenaline in vitro. Silver oxide is used as an oxidizing agent in solution. Adrenochrome is pink, and further oxidation of the compound causes it to turn polymerize. Wow,
Mm.
into brown or black melanin compounds.
Ah,
Interesting.
wow, interesting there. Definitely, that's.
And the government's always been hiding things from us, like
Oh
the
yeah,
internet.
yeah. We hold
The
like the
government had it,
UFOs.
years before they gave it out.
Absolutely. No surprise. They hide everything. They hide Area 51 and all the others UFO conspiracies from us, which is no surprise there.
And then they try to like appease us, and this is what really ticks me off about Area 51.
Yeah.
Remember that a couple years ago, that the quote unquote raid on Area 51.
Oh gosh, it was supposed to be
yeah.
That was a trip, man.
Well, I've been reading about that,
Yep.
and I heard that it's that part of that. Maybe not the entire thing, but part of that was actually a false flag operation.
Mm-hmm.
In that, because if you look at the video of what actually happened, it was like a few people showed up and were goofing off. And so some of them, I don't know how much, but part of the organization was specifically to get a small group of people that looked weird to like show up and goof off,
like
to
a rave
appease
party.
Everyone. Yeah, to kind of appease everyone and show everyone
like
that,
the
Area
Man
51's
Festival
nothing.
in a way.
Yeah, exactly. Because then it shows like, Area 51 that's just for cuckoo nuts people. Nobody serious shows up to that. And nobody even showed up. It was just because look at the Facebook event had like millions of people showing up, yet nobody shows up. Come on.
Exactly. Because I think
that was just to appease us.
Yeah, exactly. All these celebrities, all the Keanu Reeves, they've been wanting to see what's in Area 51. But then again, here's something else. If it was revealed that there were aliens being stored away, kept, in cages and such, that would have taken away the mystique of that place. And I guess what the thing is, you find out that this is officially in there. People go to pass by it, go to wonder, we already know what's in there. It's no big deal. The mysteriousness of that place was been revealed. It's no longer draws interest. And I guess in a lot of ways, they wanted to keep the interest in that particular spot going on and on and on.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Dr. Brown, coupling off of what you said, like, people like Keanu Reeves and things like that, I seem to believe that there are lizards because, he's doing like the John Wick movies.
Yeah.
And then he's doing the video games, and then he's calling people breathtaking. And like, now it doesn't seem like a normal person can do all those things.
And if you look at Keanu Reeves now, and you look at Keanu Reeves in his first movie, in his first couple movies, he looks almost exactly the same.
So does Tom Cruise.
You look at him in like One Step Away or in River's Edge. Obviously he's grown up a little bit. He was a kid, but he does not look like he's aged a normal, human amount.
Like I said, either did Tom Cruise and Keanu Reeves is still going. Right now, him and Alex Winter did the third Bill and Ted movie, and right now, from what I understand, he's filming a fourth installment in the Matrix movie series.
Yeah, and he looks exactly the same. Whereas you look at what's his face, Mike Myers and Wayne's World. Who was the other guy?
Dana Carvey.
Dana Carvey.
Yes.
They look like they've aged. You've
true.
seen the Super Bowl commercial. They've aged a little. They don't look bad, but they've aged a little bit. They've definitely aged. Whereas Keanu Reeves has not aged.
Wow. Well, I don't know. It's probably it's good. I would think it's probably either good genes or he keeps his health in check.
And adrenochrome.
Yep, possibly that as well. Either one of those three or all three, possibly. Remember, these Hollywood elite stars, they're able to afford anything that's out there.
And they have the connections to get the adrenochrome. I mean, look at all the people connected to Epstein Island.
Absolutely. Yeah, we may never hear about that anymore because, he was taken out by the Illuminati. And, of course, his girlfriend, we haven't heard much from her. I guess she's in either deep hiding or it was taken out a long time ago. We don't know. We just haven't heard from that either.
The corporate media just decided it was because, everyone was paying attention to Jeffrey, so they had to take him out. But then they realized, we can't kill him because that's too obvious. So they
Yep.
couldn't kill her.
Yep.
So they just said, you know what? Let's just stop publishing stories about it. So the
course.
corporate media just changed the narrative
Yeah,
to
absolutely.
whatever the next thing was.
Yeah, because which is probably the vaccine or the winning the presidency or Kim Kardashian, divorcing Kanye West. Let's keep the public distracted with this thing here. Let's keep it distracted with that. Let's not have them find out the truth. Let's not have them find out the real deal, the whole shindig, the nitty gritty. That's one of the prime reasons why we all look down on the media and all the idiots that follow the media, no matter what. The sheep.
Yeah.
If you're sitting here worried about whether Kim and Kanye are getting back together,
oh gosh,
you gotta get your priorities straight. In my opinion.
Oh gosh, and,
Yeah.
the ones who
You gotta wake up.
And the ones who do that are the ones who have no lives, who sit in their house, looking for, probably watch Maury Povich or Steve Wilkos or reruns of Jerry Springer when he was on TV there. They're the ones who, they're only there for the entertainment aspects, the drama type of entertainment or the entertainment type of drama, That's pretty much the sum of it there.
When you guys get on these discussions, I definitely want to be a part, but I gotta break.
Okay.
I gotta go.
All right, there. All right.
And I definitely want to be a part when you do this.
Absolutely. I will definitely get a hold of you, Arknolia, before we do this here. I'm hoping to possibly either, let's see here, on my next, I gotta check for my next day off. My phone is, I have my amp on my phone of the grocery chain that I work at. So definitely we'll get a hold of all your
just
cats.
Find out and send me
I'll send me
a message.
Absolutely. I'll definitely do that.
Yeah, please. I enjoyed speaking with you.
It's good.
I know.
Absolutely. And
Yeah,
once
same
again,
here.
thank you, Bobby and Kevin, for coming on this program. It's been a
Absolutely.
long. We're glad to to let you know what the whole shingding was with Bullqueef there, and definitely we got to do it again sometime. I'll also leave a message with Ken and Dave Rose just as well to see if they want to do this. Definitely. But we're gonna.
Yeah, I'd love to pick up bone with Dave Rose here. He's intrigued he's intrigued my thought process a couple times with what he's talked about Bullqueef and things like that.
Yep.
So I'd love a chance to chat with him.
Yeah, definitely. Next time he goes on the air, subscribe to his channel. Next time he goes on the air, if he asks for I should take some calls, feel free to call in. I was going to call in earlier today, but I was doing something there, so I didn't have time there. And plus, I wasn't able to contribute any more because, we already talked about all the main problems that Bullfrog has, and unless he does something else, then we'll definitely call him out on that. But,
Okay.
Yeah.
Bullfrog is a jerk off, and I'm going to.
Well, it's nice to talk to you guys, but I got a break.
All right, there.
All right,
And we'll
let's
talk
talk
to
to
you
you.
All right,
later.
now we're going to end the show
See ya.
right here as well there. Arknolia Stroke a Bean, ladies and gentlemen. And once again, thank you to Bobby McMillan and Kevin Hamilton for coming on this program and
Thanks for
having this
having
little
me.
discussion. It's good to see you guys again, once again, or to hear from you cats. Okay.
Yeah, thanks for
Yeah,
having me.
it was a pleasure speaking with you tonight, Dr. Brown.
It's good
Yep.
hearing from you guys. I was wondering what you guys happened to you dudes out there. All right, so we'll end the show right now, and like I said, I'll find out when my next day off is, or if I'm working in the morning there, and then I'll get a hold of all you guys, including Dave Rose and Ken and Arknolia, and we'll get on the air and have some good discussions like we just had one there. All right, there. All right.
All right.
For
Have a nice
Arknolia.
night.
All right,
All right,
you
then.
too, guys.
A wonderful evening.
God
All right,
bless
you too. All right. And for Arknolia and myself, this has been Arknolia and the Doctor, episode 33 of our Music Memory series. You guys have a good one. Watch it. Thank you for tuning in. Bye-bye.